Welcome back to the Nerdrotic Podcast. My name is Gary Buechler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And down in San Diego is my good friend and co-host, Dennis Bithoulkas. How are you, Dennis?
Doing all right. The sun is shining down here. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's actually kind of night right now. So how are things going with you?
Great. Actually, the sun's still out a little bit here. Kind of weird. Hey, everybody in the chat. We'll get to you in just a second. This is going to be this is a very special episode of the Nerdrotic Podcast Expanse recap, because we're going to be talking about some of the Save the Expanse stuff that's been happening after our recap, kind of get you caught up, and maybe you guys in the chat could get me caught up on any of the latest news. Of course, since our last recap, the Expanse has been canceled. I've done a few videos on that. They've done pretty good. And
It's been canceled. What?
Yeah, I'd rather yeah, thanks for playing, Dennis. I'd rather give those up to have a show to recap for the next 10 years. So hopefully it will get saved. We will talk about it in a sec, but tonight we had an episode and it was a damn good one. It was called Immolation.
Immolation. Yes.
Immolation, yes. And it was basically the end of Caliban's War. And it was pretty close to the book. We inserted some characters traded places, but it was pretty damn close to the book. Excuse me.
Before we start everything here, I just want to tell, for those of you that are new, just want to make sure that we're going to get to you in a little bit. How this works is we normally go over the episode. For those of you who haven't been here before, we do spoilers. So we do have spoilers alert. This is your only warning, is at the very beginning that we're going to be spoiling the shit out of it. So if you haven't watched it, then go and watch it, and then you can come back and watch the recap afterwards. And then we'll come back and we'll take your questions.
That's right. So you got that? Spoilers. All right. So yeah. So we start out with in the government offices with Aaron Wright and Gillis, and they're finding out right now there's been some sort of mutiny. And the Agatha King is firing on UN ships, and Gillis is kind of freaking out, and Aaron Wright is just clenching his jaw a little bit because he's really close to being found out at this point. But he still has a way to slither out of this, at least at this part of the episode. So he looks almost kind of happy that the hybrids had all been launched from the Agatha King, and they are headed towards Mars. And that's not going to be good, because if even one of those things gets to Mars, thousands could die, and it would spread the protomolecule. It would pretty much make it another Eros. Yeah.
And not only that, we also have the drama going on Io at the same time, because remember, Earth is about 37 minutes behind, so they're seeing stuff that already happened, almost 40 minutes ago. They're behind the times on this one. And we left where the hybrid pod's been launched off of Io, and then we have Alex trying to destroy as many as possible. And he gets joined in by the Mars and the other UN ships that are in the area that are firing. Everybody starts firing at these things except for the Agatha.
Yep. And when we see Alex starts firing, like you said, and they start shooting some of the hybrids down, one hits the Agatha King.
Yeah.
And goes inside, which is not good. And we got poor Katoa in there too. Well, we're assuming at this point he's still alive, and yeah, the shit's about to go down. It's about to go down, and it does.
And then we have the Rossi crew is just getting ready to go into the Io complex, and Strickland and Jules Pierre see that they're there, and all they just see is these guys in Martian uniforms, and they're like, oh shit, the Martians are coming for us, and they're going to kill us. We need to get out. So what we need to do is we need to create a distraction. Maybe if we tell them we have kids, they'll leave us alone.
Right.
Kind of thing. And Strickland's like, wait a minute, I've got an idea. You take the kids, go this way. I'll take care of this.
Yep. Everybody else fight for your lives. And it'll be a massacre. Yeah, for them, but not for us. We'll be okay. I know, really loving, caring people there. And don't worry, Mako. No book spoilers. I promise. No book spoilers. All I'll say is the books add to this. If you love this episode, the last third of the book is kind of like this, and it's freaking great. So please read it. Please read it.
And so we also see Katoa is he's actually seeing all the hybrids that are getting destroyed. We see in his eyes that he's actually linked to them. So he's watching them get destroyed and kind of feeling the pain, it looked like, too, a little bit. And Strickland goes in and he says, "Oh, what a shame, what a waste." And we realized, hey, thank you, Dakota Stanton, $5.
Con! Right?
Yeah, Katoa.
No, not Katoa.
Yeah. And he releases Katoa, and we know exactly what that's going to mean. He's, sending Katoa out after the Rossi crew. Not a good thing. And we see Bobby. She basically wipes out the first wave like a little video game. It's just all these scientists that have guns, and she just targets all of them. It's like, yep, got him. Pop, 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 pop. And they're all dead.
Clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you, Dakota, for the $5 super chat.
Yes.
Really appreciate it. Yes.
Yeah,
no, Bobby's like, finally we get to see Bobby kind of be badass in her Iron Man armor. So we see Iron Bobby running around, and it's pretty cool. Considering like we all know this is a TV show with a budget, and I thought the stuff looked pretty damn good tonight. I was really impressed. I was having a good time watching it. So
yeah, and so we see the Rossi is looking over at the Agatha King, and they saw that it was hit by the hybrid missile. And then we cut into the inside, and we see Cotier suspended and injured in 0G. And just as he comes out, oh, thank you, Feisty Fan. $4.99. I can't stay long, but hi, and save the Expanse. Thank you, Feisty.
Thank you, Feisty Fan. And yes, hashtag save the Expanse.
Yep.
Tweet it right now.
Yeah, and Grieveland says hashtag Iron Bobby.
Iron Bobby. Yep, right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Iron Bobby.
So Cotier, comes out of it. He's in 0G. He's just kind of floating there, but he's still attached to the chair. He's tethered to the chair. And we see this girl come in, and this guy comes in right behind her, and his face is glowing a little bit blue, and they're fighting. And she's going to get her ass handed to her, except Cotier grabs onto him with his legs and then kicks him off just in time for her to shoot him in the head.
Yep. And we see he's got some proto-molecule on him.
Yeah.
And yeah, when he gets blasted in the head, he doesn't fall down because they're in 0G. So he's just kind of standing there with blood floating out. And they describe, this isn't a book spoiler, they describe that pretty well in the book. It's really close. That's good. They're really tight with the book tonight. I was very happy with that. I know. I mean, if you're, if you want everything from the book in it, you're not going to get it. But you can't. It's a TV show. It's different. It can't be like that.
So she's kind of questioning him as to why he's still tethered to the chair there, and then what the hell was this thing? And he tells her what it was, and she realizes she's been infected. And she's like, I don't have any idea what the hell I'm fighting for. And she points the gun at him, and we think she's going to kill him, but nope. She blasts his restraints off, gives him the gun, and we don't see what happens to her. I'm pretty sure he killed her, but we don't see that. It looks like it happened off screen.
Yeah, it kind of did. You're right.
So that was kind of a weird thing. So he puts on the emergency vac suit and heads out into the ship and sees the protomolecule is just pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, movie.
Thank you so much. $1.99. Well, gave money to the Expanse iTunes. Here's the side of here's the side of avocado for my toast.
Yes, for your toast.
I promise a live stream from the Toast Bar in San Francisco. That is going to happen. Very soon. Maybe Monday. Maybe I'll do my live stream for Monday from there. Leaving somebody who's still alive, who's infected with the proto-molecule, not good. Not good.
No.
But it turns out to be fine. But because you get the vomit zombies. So
the vomit zombies.
Yes, that's what they're actually called in the book. So the vomit
zombies.
Yeah, vomit zombies.
Interesting. So yeah, we see Bobby spots a hybrid inside the she spots Katoa is what she spots, and she basically tells them, you guys go after the kids, I'm going to take care of this. And she starts running full tilt towards the hybrid, and Amos is kind of like, that's kind of a bad idea.
Yeah, dude, his facial expressions they all look the same, but they're not. He's Wes Chatham is great at that. He's like, I wouldn't do that, but okay, if you want to. All right,
yeah,
we're gonna go this way. But he's kind of impressed at the same time.
It's kind of like he's like, should I follow her? Nope, I'm gonna go with
kind of hot, but kids. Okay, kids, focus, Amos.
Yeah, he basically, it's my dog has that same kind of expression sometimes. She gets distracted for a second, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, okay, I gotta go over
Squirrel,
here."
squirrel.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Exactly. Um, so Aaron Wright is she actually ends up getting over towards it and shoots at it and goes down another corridor and leads it away from them
Yep.
as they are heading over to the kids. And then we have Aaron Wright in the UN seeing that the missiles were launched from Io again 40 minutes later. And they're like, where the hell are those things going to? And they're like, we don't know. They cloaked. And by the way, they all have transponders on them, and all the transponders have been turned off on the hybrids.
Yep.
So no one can track them.
And you said they have the stealth tech, and they also can't warn anybody because, like you just said, it's 39 minutes on a tight beam out that far from space, so they can't really just communicate.
And they don't know where it's going.
Sucks.
They don't know if it's going to the belt, if it's going to Earth, Mars, out. They don't know where it's going.
Nope.
So very screwed at the moment.
Aaron Wright cracks a little smile. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn Aaron Wright.
So then we have Anna confronting Sorrento Gillis and basically saying, hey, remember when we were doing that protest way back when we were kids, and you knew the cops were coming, and they were going to kill people, but you wanted some martyrs, man. You did it again, man. You did it again, man. And
she was just missing a couple mans there, but
yeah,
she is a space hippie. So
yeah, she was a space hippie.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was kind of waiting. It kind of had me flashing back to some Futurama episodes where they had space hippies.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was getting off of her. And she ends up showing him Aaron Wright's message. She goes, "You got to do the right thing, man. Time for you to do the right thing."
Yeah, and I'm glad Christiane called him the bobblehead once, because that's how she refers to him in the books. And yeah, they made him a little simpler. There's a little more to him in the books. I mean, he's major evil bastard, and not evil, but yeah, pretty evil. He's kind of evil. Gillis, and no, Aaron Wright was. I don't know. There was Aaron Wright thought he was doing the right thing. There was a little mustache twirling, but but he definitely, was down for Earth, and he learned that from Christiane. You got to do what you got to do for Earth. Earth comes first.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. But then we see what was it? Prax and Holden and Amos get to where the kids were, and they can see because there was a bunch of toys around, and Holden's going through all the pictures, and Prax sees May for the first time in a long time, and that was brilliant. The looks on I'm sorry, the actor's name I cannot remember now. He did a great job. He was also in Jessica Jones, and him just seeing her for the first time, and just again, when you read the book, that is one of my favorite parts is that, and another part we'll get to. But
and they're just here. Where the hell did they go? And Holden looks it up on the camera and sees them running down a hallway and says, there they are. They're running towards these shuttles. And so he's asking Alex if he can block them off. And he actually ends up disabling. He opens up the airlock so that they're going to have to find EVA suits and evac suits in order to get out there.
Yep.
Instead. And buys them a little bit of time. And we see Bobby. She fires on the hybrid again and just keeps running. I mean, she's going up this little ladder and stops and shoots at it again, goes up the ladder some more, and she's taking it outside at this point. And when she takes the hybrid out there, she starts running, and she thinks she gets away from it, but it actually kind of doubles back underneath her, comes in front of her, attacks her, and knocks her off, and they go flying down it looks like about 10 stories.
Yeah.
And she hits pretty hard. She's firing all the time at it. And that falls, the hybrid Katoa falls on one side. She falls down pretty hard on the other, and they're both out for the count.
Yep. And what they kind of insinuate in the show, but but I don't know if you know or not, but her armor is so heavy she can't just, when it's not functional, because when she was running, you saw the red lights on her armor of stuff malfunctioning, and there's she can't just lift her arm. The armor weighs hundreds of pounds, so so she's not able to just move when she needs to or when she wants to if the armor is out. So she's kind of screwed at this point.
Yeah, definitely. She's basically trapped in her armor.
And the hybrid seems a little. I mean, she's having to shoot it to get it to chase her. It seems a little distracted.
Yeah, it seems like it keeps getting distracted. Matt S says only 9.6 stories. Is what he was saying. That's how far they fell.
Did you count? What a nerd. I like you, Matt S. Just kidding. So num nerd. I just got a pause button, man.
I counted how long it took from the time they fell, and I factored in the gravity of Io into that account.
What was the number of the office they walked into to look at the pictures of May? I know all the Expanse trivia. Mm-hmm.
We only do it out of love. That's all.
Out of love. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're called nerdrotic. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Proud nerds.
So Alex decides that he's going to take the racer, the penis racer, over to the
racing penis.
The racing penis. And Naomi says, I'm going with you. Christian, you're in charge. Go ahead and watch everybody. And she's like, okay.
Right. But she looks damn good in the racing suit. I love that. I love that she got to rock that half, part of the season anyway. That was good.
Yeah. No, she did. Yeah. But she didn't really have much to do in this episode except stand around and go, oh, okay, can you show me how that works? I'll stand here.
Here's your script. Look concerned.
Yeah.
Look more concerned.
Say the word fuck one more time. There we go.
Yes.
All right, we're good.
She doesn't say fuck nearly enough, but maybe because they're sometimes I get it, and then sometimes it's weird. What I'm watching it on Sling, but I'm watching it live, and yeah, sometimes they cut out the F words, and sometimes they don't. It's really strange.
Yeah, they were doing it for a while on Sci-Fi too, and then they stopped. So yeah. So Sorrento Gillis ends up confronting Aaron Wright with the video, and he's like, "Yeah, I did it." And he goes, he turns to Anna and goes, was he always like this? Yeah. I mean, if the janitor had come in beforehand, he would have lamented about how buckets are wonderful and things like that. He just follows pretty much anybody who comes in before him. And that's who he gloms onto. He goes, yeah, I did it. And he goes, I fought to save Earth. You fought to save yourself. Yep. Is what he tells Aaron Wright.
He's kind of right. I mean, not what he did, but Anna was like, at least the expression on her face was kind of agreeing with him. It's like, yeah, he's kind of always been like this.
Well, yeah, it's after Aaron Sorrento Gillis calls in the people and arrests him, and Sorrento Gillis tells her, he says, he goes, well, my biggest claim to fame was going to be that I killed millions of people and started this war. He goes, now it's all on him, so I feel good.
Yeah, what a dick. Yeah. She's just like,
and she realizes, she's like, oh, man, that asshole was right.
Man, I can't believe you did that to me, man.
Yeah. Man, that dude was right. Where's a bowl at?
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Yeah.
Strickland has the kids along with another tech, and they're in the airlock there. And the tech says, wait a minute, I got an idea. They put the kids in the airlock, and she goes, what we'll do is when they come, we'll tell them that if they don't let us go, that we'll kill the kids. And Strickland's like, oh, that's actually a good idea. Pop, shoots her in the back just as they run up, as the Rossi runs up, and goes, see, I was helping all along. She was going to kill him.
I did, which is kind of how it goes down in the book.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saved her. Come on, Prax. I love May. I'm assuming Strickland was one of the sociopaths.
He had to have been, yeah.
They didn't really say it, but he had to be. And Prax, looks like he's about to shoot him. He like, hey kids, go over here. Here's my new best friend, Uncle Amos.
You go with Uncle Amos off to the over this area. Plug your ears. It's gonna be loud. And he's basically gonna kill Strickland. And Strickland's begging, and he can't do it. And Amos comes up and whispers in his ear and goes, "You're not that man. You don't want to be that man.
You're not that guy."
He sends him off. And Strickland's like, thank you. And I knew exactly what he was going to say when he turns around and goes, but I'm that guy.
Yep.
And he just holds up the gun and pop, just shoots him in the head.
Splat. Yep.
Yeah, which is really kind of nice. So we see Alex and Naomi make it over to the Agatha King.
And we also got that great Prax and May reunion, which was cool.
Yeah.
And it was very well done in the show. It's one of the best parts in the Dakota. Thank you.
Thank you, Dakota.
I am that guy. Yes, you are. Thank you. $10 super chat. Damn. Yeah, that's one of my favorite moments in the book. What a show can't do, what a book can, is it gets into somebody's head. And well, I don't want to spoil it. When you get to read it, it's really great. It's great. Well done, James S.A. Corey.
And we end up having Holden finding Jules Pierre and gets him, takes him prisoner as well after he kills Jules Pierre's manservant or whatever it was that was next to him. And and by the way, going back to Prax meeting May for the first time, he's questioning May as to what was going on. And she tells him that Strickland was the one that infected Katoa with the protomolecule. And he says, well, did they do anything to you? She goes, no, they didn't hurt me. They just hurt him. And that's why Prax decided to kill Strickland.
Yep.
But of course he couldn't.
And well, if the series does go on, this isn't a spoil. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but Bossia, Katoa's dad, is a character later. So, and it's interesting. It's really cool. And it's in like my third favorite book, but yeah, that's if we get more Expanse, which we'll get to later. # save the Expanse.
Yes. Alex and Naomi enter the bridge of the Agatha King, and they see just bodies everywhere and protomolecule everywhere. And they find out that Nguyen's still alive. He actually tries to shoot him with an empty gun. Yeah, he's in an evac suit. He's hurting pretty bad. And Naomi ends up actually trying to change the course of the missiles when an infected Cotier comes over the comms and basically says to all the ships to get away because he's overloading the engines on the Agatha King, and everyone should move away quickly. And they're like, well, damn it, we need this thing in order to get rid of the missiles. And so what Naomi just ends up doing is she ends up activating all their transponders.
Yeah, and then uploads the link to probably the Rossi, I would assume. Yeah,
I think she did to the racer.
Yep.
Since the racer was in range there.
Yep, and they got the hell out of there, and poor Cotier is gone. And Khan, says Dakota Stanton, right? Cotier was one of my favorite characters. He was good in the book, and they actually expanded on his role in the show, and he was he was great. So farewell, Cotier. We just got to know you, man. Sorry, buddy.
And
but he feels atoned. I guess he feels responsible for Christian's son's death. And he said, and he was trying, in his going out speech, he just said, "I can't think of anything clever." So
yes, yeah, I thought I'd think of something better, if I was in this situation, but I can't think of a damn thing. And we go back to Bobby, and Bobby is hurt, and she can't lift her arms at all. She has no power to her suit, and the hybrid Katoa gets up and starts crawling over her and kind of monkeying with her suit a little bit. And we see him all of a sudden get distracted, which is just enough for Bobby to kind of swing her arm up enough where she blows off the back of his head.
Yeah, she just unloads.
Yeah.
And poor Katoa is dead. But yeah, he was looking up. And something had gotten to him. And remember, the protomolecule is pretty much, they're all connected.
Yeah.
So something's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Naomi's got a pretty good idea now that she's got all the transponder links, but she wants everybody to vote on it this time because last time it didn't work out for her so well. And
exactly.
Sorry,
up there. So
Dina McCombs, Gary, 4th book, which I just started reading. Yes, 4th book is good. Yes.
So she decides to give the transponder signals to Fred Johnson, because if the Belters can take out those hybrids before they reach anybody, basically Mars, not only are they going to save Mars, but it'll be the first step to stopping this war, and they'll have an extra seat at the table at this point.
Yeah, it'll give them a position of power, and like everything has worked out kind of perfect for Fred Johnson.
Yeah,
he probably wouldn't see it that way, but he's been given opportunities, and Fred Johnson is a very interesting character that they do so well in the book. He's an ex-UN soldier, or he was an officer and got screwed over, felt bad, went to the other side, and turned into a politician. Turned into everything he hated. But there's still a good guy in there. it is a little difficult now that he's on the Orville that I see Fred Johnson making that face. And what was his name in the Orville? I see that character now and I can't.
I can't remember because
yes.
he's the husband of
yes.
the main character,
which is great. I love the Orville.
Yeah.
Love the Orville. Yeah. So, but yeah, he's presented this brilliant opportunity, and they recaptured the God, I'm blanking on the damn name of the ship now. It's got 3 names in the dang books too.
Nuvak,
But
God, yeah, I can't remember what's
what
called.
happens when you get old. I've read all the books and I can't remember the name right now because I'm live on a podcast. But it's
Bortus's mate. Yes, that's who he was.
Yeah, Bortus's mate, and it's the Mormon's ship.
Yeah, the Mormon ship. So we end up having a montage near the end there. Bobby recuperating the Nauvoo. Thank you.
Nauvoo.
Yes,
thank
Nauvoo.
you. Thank you.
And it starts with an N and then had a couple of U's in it.
Craziest thing on live streams. I mean, there's things I could just rattle off, and when you get live, you just forget the silliest stuff.
Yeah,
like your kids' names and
who are you again?
Your name. Just continue.
Jerry.
Bob.
Okay,
Yeah,
Jerry. So Bob, we get the montage of Bobby recuperating. She's getting the shit kicked out of her, and so she's getting put into the med chair so she can recuperate. We get Jules Pierre getting sat down in front of Christian.
Alex is kind of crushing on Bobby a little bit too at this point. Yeah.
And we have Prax having a good time with May, and Holden having a good time with Naomi.
Yes. The family's back together. Everybody's happy. The bad guy is caught. We get to see a little Naomi hindquarters, and then Venus has to completely screw up the party.
Yeah, Venus births a jellyfish ship,
Brainiac jellyfish, which is what it looks like in the book. Kind of, yeah.
And it's kind of funny because you see Amos, he's pouring out milk for the cereal for the kids, and he looks up at the screen and goes, "What the hell is that?"
Right. What they don't do in the show, but the proto-molecule is a little different in the book. It uses the nautilus shape quite a bit, so it does kind of remind you of something, some kind of not a fish, but like an octopus, or that's it has
jellyfish.
Jellyfish. Sorry, octopus, jellyfish, and so that was cool seeing it pop out of Venus, I was kind of wondering if they were going to show what it was this episode, but it looks like they're going to wait, which is cool because I was like, man, you don't have enough time to do this thing that you got to do. And I'm glad they're doing it in another episode. Giant sperm, says Bad Buddy.
It looked like a giant pimple to me that it was coming off. Yeah, like you said before.
I don't know what your pimples look like, buddy, but
no, coming out of Venus, when it was coming out of Venus, it looked like a giant pimple that was kind of growing out. And then once it cleared the atmosphere, it's like, okay.
Venus pimple, says Morks.
Exactly. We need some Clearasil for that thing and clear it right on it.
I just popped it. It's all right. Just handle it,
So that was how we ended that episode.
That's how planets procreate, says Mako, with Venus sperm. Yes, and that's where we ended it. Now, this is just, the people who didn't read the books are going to have no idea what I'm talking about. But $5 from Logan McLeod. Thank you, Logan. Isn't there the spot of the proto-molecule that they missed hidden somewhere on the ship? Yes, there is, Logan McLeod. And I would just like to say, this is to book readers, not going to give any spoilers or any details, but if book readers, you know what I'm talking about. If you watch the scenes for next week, there's a scene with Holden, and I think that scene is the scene. So you really want to tune in next week. Next week, I know I've been saying that for like 2 weeks now, but next week is the episode for sure. You do not want to miss.
Yeah, we saw this proto-molecule underneath the floorboards of the Rossi there.
Yes, Bad Bunny. Holden sees the Tooth Fairy. That's it. No.
Holden hears a who.
Holden hears a who. Kim Han's all, shh. I'm not going to say anymore. Hey, listen, the show has telegraphed the hell out of it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have. They're kind of heavy-handed on some of their reveals.
But I will shut the hell up right there. But we will get to the chat at this point. It was a great episode, by the way. Really fast moving, really well done, really well edited. The Iron Bobby was fucking awesome. And the show is just a cut above. It's a cut above the rest. That's why we are trying to hashtag save the Expanse. Sorry, I'm going to be saying that a lot. I don't know what the latest news is, folks. I know there might have been a meeting. If you guys didn't know, some of you might not know out there that somebody crowdfunded in 24 hours $6,000 to hire a plane to fly over Amazon and with a Save the Expanse banner. And that was brilliant. That was so fucking cool. Whatever happens, that was cool. Yeah, that was a great move. That's going to go down in history. So yeah, there's Expanse fans. There's a lot of Expanse fans out there. So whoever picks this show up, you won't regret it. Amazon.
Logan McLeod says, I was confused as to why the crew was surprised to see the protomolecule interacting with the ship. I thought the incident on Venus was broadcasted. It was they knew that the protomolecule had gone to Venus, but they didn't know that it tore apart the ship.
No
one could see that because that happened in the atmosphere.
And it was just Naomi and Alex at that point. So maybe Holden knew, but yeah, the protomolecule at first was just attacking humans. But then the Venus, the Arbogast, got disassembled. And the protomolecule learns. That's its job. It learns, and the work. You got to concentrate on the work. Remember that.
Yep.
Yeah.
David Latham says, how come Alex didn't give Bobby the incendiaries for her suit in the previous episode? They couldn't fit. That was what she said. They weren't the right size for her suit.
Yep.
So that's the reason why.
Which would have been really helpful.
Yeah. Penn Farm Girl says, bittersweet with the cancellation, but I enjoyed every minute. Hashtag remember the can't. Hashtag save the Expanse.
Thank you, Penn Farm Girl. And Feisty had to leave. Bye, Feisty fan. Comics Division is here. What's up, Comics Division?
Yeah.
He and I are going to be doing some Farscape stuff.
Yeah, Apple Crow's here.
Yeah.
Ed
Brewer. Viking bitch, of course.
Yeah. James Byron says, trying to save my favorite show is the only reason I have Tweeter.
Right?
The Tweeter. Yeah,
the tweeter.
You got to work on the Tweeter.
You got to work on the Tweeter. Yes. I was super busy at work and I just went, guys, I need a minute. And I threw out 4 tweets. I don't know if it helped or not. I don't know if it trended. Guys, did it trend at all tonight? Did it help? Did we do it? I just say, don't stop. Keep doing it. There was a lot of great suggestions, watch it live, of course, run it in the background on your computer all the time on Amazon or Netflix. Go ahead and rate it, give it reviews, go on Rotten Tomatoes, do whatever you can. Cass Ambar said on a video yesterday that he was told by the producers that if there is a serious rating spike, that Sci-Fi would consider renewing it. Now that could be just Sci-Fi looking for a rating spike, and they won't. Usually when a network makes these decisions, it's done. But if there's hope, let's do what we can. Okay. I've seen stuff get saved before. It's happened. But it's been a bloodbath out there, man. There's been a lot of shows getting canceled.
Everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. It's been a bloodbath. Apple Crow says, I wonder if it's a ratings thing or a CGI thing that we didn't get the vomit zombies earlier.
I think it's a little of both, Apple Crow, because the protomolecule in the book is an uglier thing. It's definitely an uglier thing. I mean, it's great for the book. You'll read it and find out. It's pretty disgusting.
David Latham says Twitstorm was a success, I'd say, since it was up to number 3.
Oh, that's good. Awesome. Thanks, David. That is a success. That is brilliant.
And Caravaggio 2012 says, I try to tweet the companies of all the commercials I watched during the Expanse tonight.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Do that too. I will do that. I will, when I rewatch, I will do that myself. That's a great suggestion. Hello, Forrest Campbell. How are you? Our Ash versus Evil Dead winner.
Yes.
Yes.
Mako says also they talked about the show on IGN and Will Wheaton tweeted about it.
Oh, good. Good. That's one of the things I was wondering is one of those bigger YouTube channels, if they would just, talk about it as much as they could. And I think a couple have. So IGN's pretty big. And, while we've had, I don't love those channels all the time, I will love them forever if they take care of the Expanse. Run, Forrest. I'm
Yeah.
sure Forrest has never heard that.
He even says later on, he says, I've heard run, Forrest, run forever. You don't have to stop.
You must hate that movie.
Is life really like a box of chocolates, Forrest? Sorry. Penn Farm Girl says there was a photo posted of the writers tweeting.
Nice. That is good. That is good. Hey, we know one of the writers of the book watched us at least once. So hi, if you're watching, you guys rock. Thank you. Thank you for giving us something good.
Movie Finobi says, I jumped off your tweet and tried pimping you guys out tonight, Gary. My tiny part.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys actually do a really good job of pimping us out. So we really appreciate it. It's weird and humbling. I don't know how to handle that sometimes, but it's a lot of fun. Love hanging out with you guys. Amos is my best friend in the whole world, says Viking bitch with little heart.
Yeah, actually, I forgot to mention that. So that whole thing about Prax telling May that Amos was his best friend in the whole world, it was like, wow, that was kind of cool.
That was cool. And Amos is like, stop it, man. There's something in my eye. My wife said something about best something in the whole world, but it wasn't friend. Something I probably should be jealous about, but apparently I'm not. So he doesn't want to lose her Amos. Sorry.
Bad Bunny says, took me a while to realize that Prax is carrying a big bag with all the helmets and extra vac suits for the kids.
See, that's the dad thinking, you know what? We found a good dad. I've been on the search for a good dad in a show because we find so few of them, and Prax is a good dad. Right on, Prax. I saw Patton Oswalt tweeting about The Expanse. That's good. He's on the same network with Happy.
Yeah,
so
he
I'm
is.
glad to hear that. I'm sure he's a fan. He's a big old nerd. So,
yeah. Kenem1 says battery power was getting low even before the monster ambushed her on Bobby's suit.
That's right. Yeah, because I saw some of her alarms flaring up, which was cool. It was a cool little detail. And that's the great thing about this show. They think about that little stuff, when the guy getting shot in the head and he's just floating there. And for one, it's cool. I mean, for a guy getting shot in the head, it was cool. Yeah.
Bad Bunny said a knight died from falling over and couldn't get up, died from lack of water. That kind of sucks.
That's a crappy way to go.
Yeah. Apple Crow says, you guys mock, but damn if I wasn't watching Venture Brothers and quoting every line. Yep. That's a good show to quote.
That is a great show to quote. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Mako says Sharknado 6. Jesus Christ. Yes, I heard he does make an appearance.
In Sharknado? Yes.
Yeah,
it's Jesus
Sharknado
versus
6.
Sharknado. Actually, yes. The Reckoning. No. Sharknado wins.
Thrilla in Manila.
The Thrilla in Manila. We have a friend who worked on those the first three movies. Yeah, Chris Ortiz worked on those.
Yeah. Forrest Campbell, Q&A, Gary and Dennis. Real question. Do you think it's better to try and keep the show on Sci-Fi, who I don't care for, or to keep pushing for Netflix, Amazon? That's a good question.
I want the show to survive. I don't really.
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
I think if it stays on Sci-Fi, it's going to stay for one more season. Okay. I'd be kind of okay with that. I wouldn't be surprised if all the dust settles and it does end up getting canceled, that there might be some kind of movie like they did with Farscape. I don't know. Maybe not. But this show needs to run 7 seasons because without giving any book spoilers, Mako, we're just at the beginning. Okay. So that little thing coming from Venus we're at the beginning. Okay. So this is we're in book 7 of a 9-book series, and there's a lot of story to tell, and some of the like Naomi's best scene is like 2 seasons away, and we still get to know her, and there's so much good stuff that we'd miss. I mean, it's still there in the books, of course, so you can go read, but
Deanna McComb says, gonna watch it again on Amazon tomorrow. The commercials gave me a freaking headache.
They always do. That's another thing they need to work out. They stop this live ratings bullshit, by the way. I mean, come on, And people have been saying that for a long time. And then figure out, you need commercials. I understand, but we need to figure out a way that they're not so intrusive or long. Because I can hear their arguments now. It's like, we need them to pay the bills. Well, you need to tell them that people are skipping them and they're not going to be relevant anymore. So what the companies need to find another way to advertise and come to the negotiation table on this one, because it ain't going to work much longer.
You know what? Put your product placements inside the show.
Subtly, but do
subtly.
that.
Yeah.
And then we're on this is Earth. There could be Coke commercials running in the background all the time. So
yeah, I'm perfectly okay with that as long as I don't have to fucking watch the commercials during the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Comics Division says at Viking Bitch, we should get Gary to do reviews of the Venture Brothers. You mean Gary and Dennis, right?
Yes.
And yes, we are going to be doing that for the Patreon.
For the Patreon, but it will be going on our channel too. It'll be shot live on the Patreon. Then we'll take it over our channel because we freaking love it. We're gonna actually a lot of that's coming this summer.
Yes, when we have more time, when the shows kind of slow down a little bit, then we're gonna start doing those kind of things.
Yeah, we're only covering 2 shows over the summer. I think Cloak and Dagger and Preacher, unless something else comes up. But
yeah. And Kenem says, I knew Amos wouldn't let Prax do it.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. We all saw that coming, and that's Amos. Amos is being that's a huge thing for Amos, though. I mean, we knew he would do that, but for Amos to do that, to get there from where he was in season 1 is a lot of growth for him. Because season 1, he would have just gone, shoot him, I don't care. Shoot her, I don't care. He just didn't care. So he's starting to care, which is good.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot of Venture Brothers talk here.
Billions will die, and Bobblehead worried about his Halo. That's right.
Yeah, Logan McLeod says, where's Dr. Strickland? He's not coming with us.
Yep.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Has your father asked, Gary, have the books explain the proto-molecule? Yes. They do.
Tarka Jedi says, I am devastated about the Expanse, truly devastated, and so is the physics lab here in Brisbane.
Whoa. Brainy people in Brisbane. Brisbrainy. That sucks.
Yeah.
It's been a crappy 3 days. I usually when a show gets canceled, I usually just kind of roll with it. It's like, it sucks, but there's other stuff. But this one hurts a little bit. I'm gonna admit. It was what I would say one of the top tier shows we covered, and it's also like the first show we actually got people watching us on. A little over a year ago. It was the first thing that hit 100 views for us. We were so freaking excited, and the first thing that people watched us live. It was huge for this channel, especially lately, but also something like my whole family's into, and we all watch it together. Yeah. Sucks, man.
Logan McLeod, going back, Tarka Jedi says, thanks for fighting for the only true sci-fi out there.
You're very welcome. No need to thank us. We really want this to go on.
Logan McLeod says, how funny would it be if Naomi was fucking Fred Johnson?
I don't think Holden would find that funny. But
he wouldn't.
There ain't no ring on her finger, so
that's true.
That's right.
What if Fred Johnson was her baby mama's daddy? Baby's daddy. There we go.
That would be that would certainly be a big change. I don't know how I'd feel about that. It wouldn't happen. Don't worry.
Movie Fanobi says, how soon can we get rating summaries? Is it like movies with preliminary and next day, or do we have to wait for a 3+ or for +3? I think it's usually almost 5 days. I think it's supposed to be 5 days, if I remember correctly.
We might know a little bit by Friday, and we're going to go over the ratings for a bunch of shows on Friday with Susan. She's really good at that stuff, and she can break it down and read into it. The ratings were down, but not a ton. And Cass Anvar said on his video last night that it's the second most, when all is said and done, it's the second most watched show on Sci-Fi. So Happy, when it came out, was the most watched show, but it dropped to the second, but it got renewed for a second season. Now it's probably cheaper, and Happy's great. Don't get me wrong. Actually, I heard from Catherine Lafrere from Happy today. She's if anybody's out in Sonora, she's doing a play. Yeah, she's doing a
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Midsummer Night's Dream out there in Sonora. Go check out Catherine Lafrere. She is amazing.
Yep. She's fun. She's a lot of fun.
Yes.
So Mako says some of the sets for the show have been dismantled. I'm not sure what's the rush there.
I'm not either, unless who owns the sets, Alcon or Sci-Fi? Because Alcon, somebody pointed out in one of my videos that Blade Runner 2049 was owned by Alcon, and they might have taken a bath on that. And maybe this is why we're getting the desperation, because it does feel like really, why like people are going to want those sets 6 months from now. Maybe it's just where they are. Maybe it's not the sets themselves. Like they got to get them the hell out of the studio or something like that. And I'm going to run over to the Facebook, everything Expanse Facebook to see if we see anything new.
How's Your Father says maybe James S.A. Corey can help GRRM finish ASOL.
A Song of Ice and Fire. Yes. That would be my vote. Not Neil Gaiman. I know some people would rather have Neil Gaiman finish it, but I'd rather have James S.A. Corey finish it because they write fast. That is why. That's a video for another day, Mr. Martin.
Apple Crow says, I do hope you guys do an Orville season 1 recap.
We will.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that.
And yes, Tarka Jedi, it is a very stupid way of rating a show in this age of binge watching. Well, that and also for binge watching of a serialized show, they normally don't come out till later, so I can see why some of the ratings are, but not counting like DVRs or subscriptions, that kind of thing, buying subscriptions on like Amazon or iTunes, that kind of thing, where they don't really count those. That's really stupid because that adds to your views as well. So
yeah, you're right. They couldn't wait for another day for the spike in the ratings, right, Mako? And the nude scene probably distracted you from remembering the name. It's still distracting me right now.
All I know is that the moon was very full.
It was full. And Apple Crow says I'm crushing a bit on Bobby too. What's that? Yeah, right.
Yeah. And by the way, for those of you I don't know if you follow our Facebook page at all, but there were some photos that I took when I went through the Expanse run. That was the escape room that was over at San Diego Comic-Con this last year. And the girl that was outside looked exactly like Bobby. Exactly like Bobby. And I asked her, I said, I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but can I take a picture? Because you look exactly like she'd never seen the show.
She did. Of course she did. Yeah. Had she heard of it? See that's the thing. I've gotten 4 people at my work into it now. So yeah. Hopefully Justin's watching. What's up, Justin? And
jellyfish testicles. That's Viking bitch. So
Jody says we have dry wit. It's very dry in here.
I don't know. Tarka Jedi says, I have to admit, I feel like they kicked the wind out of me. It is so hard to get truly exceptional science fiction. Science is cool, or our future is out amongst the stars. Yes. Unfortunately, like true science fiction that uses actual science is very verboten on TV. A lot of people don't like it. And I get kind of disappointed too when you start getting the really out there science fiction that Star Trek Discovery that doesn't really follow science but leans heavily on the fiction. This actually deals pretty well with both the fiction and the science. I like both of them. So yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's the niche of the show, and that's what makes it special. Is you're right. Every time we get a science-based show, it seems to like really get grounded. So they've really towed the line really well in this one. We got a space opera that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So thanks, Gary. I tweeted to Cass. It looked like he was longingly looking at Bobby. Yes, he was. He was all, hey.
Um, yeah, that's what I really liked about Babylon 5. Babylon 5, like one of the first couple episodes, someone gets killed and they kick the body out of the airlock, thinking that the body's just going to float away. and no, it doesn't, because the space station actually has a gravitational force, a mass, and so it orbits the space station. So they find the body just kind of orbiting the space station.
That's rad.
And I'm like, yeah, that's what it actually does in real science. And I was like, cool. They actually use science.
Yeah.
That's kind of what hooked me to the show. Besides the show being really cool.
And that's another thing we're going to have to probably do a retro on is B5. It looks more like Brainiac than Jellyfish, says Mako. I agree. And Bad Bunny agrees with you. It looked like a big pimple. And then we saw the giant sperm. So I'm still getting down there. But
Jody says, yeah, that's true. But if HBO can come up with a model that allows them to do commercial-free shows, why can't Sci-Fi figure out a way of doing something which allows them to do so? Because they're owned by NBC, and NBC is still on the commercial model.
Yeah, I don't know if you kids remember, but way back in the day, it was pitched to us that cable was supposed to be commercial-free TV because we were paying for it. And then that went away like that. So, yeah. So we're paying for something, and they get a piece of the big cable pie, probably not much. And NBC Universal owns it, but they only give them, it's a budget. They don't get the NBC budget. They probably get very little. And yeah, maybe there's some kind of, it's kind of like when there's a contract in the NFL between the players and the owners, and it's like goes for 5 or 6 years. Maybe there's something similar with advertisers and why they haven't been able to change the system because they're in the middle of some big deal that they got to renegotiate or so. I don't know. I have no freaking idea. Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that makes sense why they haven't been able to pivot and deal with this, because it's stupid. And I'm talking about the overnight ratings. It's dumb.
Yes, and also HBO back in the day used to be a lot better too than what it is now. I mean, sure, it's got some quality, some good little gems of programs that they do, quality original programs, but they used to have like a shit ton of movies on there, more than they have now, where you could turn on any time and actually find something entertaining to watch. Now they play like the same 5 movies in rotation, and you're like, God damn, I really don't want to watch The Princess Diaries again.
I don't know, man. There's movies that HBO used to run the same movie over and over and over and over and over again, all the time. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm talking about back in the day when they first started.
Well, that was ancient history. I mean, they've done a really good job making shows. You're right. They don't have a ton of great ones in our opinion right now. But when they do a good one, it's really freaking. Westworld is amazing. So and Game of Thrones, still love Game of Thrones. But yeah, Gary, I remember when we still had commercials, which is why streaming is more portable now. I hate watching commercials. Palatable, sorry. I hate watching commercials which get in the way of the episodes, right? And like dumb breaks, and it's I don't know. I want the shows to get paid for. Okay, I don't mind there being sponsors, but yeah, like Dennis said, just insert it into the show.
Like what was it? Viking Bitch saying, unless you're watching Legion AC, China Apple Crow, you can have an entire dream sequence about commercials in Legion, and it would work perfectly within that realm.
Right. Caravaggio 2012 says, I subscribe to HBO for the original shows. I do as well. As a matter of fact, everything I subscribe to is I don't subscribe to anything for movies at all.
Yeah.
I want to see a movie, I'll just buy it, or I'll, rent it or something like that. I don't get anything for movies. I own so many damn movies anyway. So,
I was talking to a coworker today, and we have a small movie club, fan club, if you will. They show all kinds of movies, and they do like theme movies, showings of all these different movies. And so one of them that they were showing was Phase 4, and I hadn't seen that movie in ages. It's a really bad sci-fi movie about irradiated ants that are eating people.
Nice. I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, it's really bad. No, don't bother seeing it. But it used to play on HBO all the time. It'd be like 3:00 in the morning. Phase 4 is on. You're like, you know what? The remote control's over there. All right, I'll leave it on.
Jody says, see, now I got to watch, I stopped watching Silicon Valley, not because it was bad. I think I just got out of the habit because I used to watch it with Game of Thrones, which was really weird. So I need to watch it because there's a bunch of Tesla in it. So yeah, Tesla probably paid for that show. I know Elon would love trolling all those people. HBO Go now uploads the entire episode from the beginning, so no more buffering. Yeah, no, man, HBO Now and Go were terrible at first. Oh, noticed this since Westworld season 2 started. Yeah, because it was bad. I had to stop watching and just watch. I couldn't watch it on my phone at all. But now it's much, much, much better now. Actually, Westworld looks beautiful. And get Westworld season 1 if you got the 4K TV. Get the steel box. Westworld season 1. It's freaking great. But before you do that, buy Expanse season 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. Those are amazing too. Love the blue velvet shirt. Thank you, Mako. It was the only blue thing I could think of. Protomolecule blue. Yes. Yes. This shirt's freaking ancient.
Movie Fanobi says Krypton is cheap because hallways.
Yep.
You know, they actually spent a little bit of money this week. All I'm going to say is that there's actually now a vegetable as well as hallways. A vegetable. Just one.
Yeah, let's talk about the Expanse. Yes. We'll be talking about Krypton later. CBS All Access sucks. Oh, is there the rest of that sentence? Oh, sorry. Because of blasted buffering. The show I watched on CBS All Access, I preferred the buffering. Is that bad? I actually liked the buffering parts. I was like, oh, thank God.
It's a good thing I didn't. I mean,
it's supposed to be our future and human progression. Don't you think for a sec all there would be stickers and branding in those ships all over the place and graffiti. Yeah. And there is, they probably can't because they're not allowed
to. Doing that on the CGI, man, is speaking as someone who's actually skinned some stuff in CGI and all that stuff, it's really freaking hard sometimes. And then once you do it, it's fine. But if you start having like firefights and you have bullet holes and things like that, and having to add those in, it becomes a nightmare. So I can see why they keep it clean.
Oh yeah. And again, the CG was great for you temper your expectations. So Katoa running around, the blue meanie, which I've been calling him, that was a rough thing to do because they did it very accurate to the book. That's how it's described in the book completely. And I thought it looked great. So they're well done. Proto-molecule cola. Yes.
Exactly.
One proto-molecule gets you to work. It's like an energy drink.
It keeps you working because the work you need to concentrate on.
The MCRN could have their ships made by Lockheed, right? Yeah. Says Small Yoda 3. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, the screen's made by Panasonic.
All right, I hate to bash on sci-fi a little bit, but I'm going to do it. So in the Cass Anvar video yesterday, I think the biggest bomb about it was that he and the other actors, he said that they didn't know like how important those, what the structuring was of the ratings. Now, there are some who could say, well, they could ask, but actors are busy acting, working on their show, doing other things. I think it's sci-fi's responsibility to maybe, especially in this day and age, or Alcon, to go, hey, so part of your gig is you need to tweet about the show. You need to talk about it. Listen, working at the comic shop for me, I required people, like, if you're going to take pictures in the comic store, it's got to go on the Comic Outpost Facebook. If you're going to talk about it, like, remember to mention us. So it's once in a while, talk about it on your Facebook. And if you have a problem with any of us, you don't have to work here. It's cool, and that's kind of how they have to do it. And, Susan had mentioned that, our co-host from Friday, for Ash vs. Evil Dead, that was part of their thing. And that is written into contracts now that you have to have a social presence. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it sounds like Alcon or Sci-Fi just dropped the ball on that one a little bit. I don't know, but that's what I got out of it anyway. And Doomcock mentioned it in his video, and I'll mention it again. There's so many people who just never heard of the show, so I think if they had done a better job, say at Comic-Con, maybe advertising in Comic-Con, because they had that Expanse escape thing, and that's cool. But that thing was blocks away. It was like 4 blocks away from Comic-Con.
It was right around the corner from the Blade Runner, which the Blade
which was
Runner
4
thing
blocks away.
Was a lot. Dude, the line for that one was like 4 hours long.
Yeah,
and that's why people went, the Expanse is right around the corner. I'll go to that instead.
Well, that's why I'm not going to wait 4 hours to get.
No, me either.
Anything. Wow. Yeah. 90 viewers. Welcome everybody. Hi, Expanse fans.
Hello.
With our a little reach, we're trying to do what we can to help save the show. I've done 4 videos. I'm going to do more videos. I was tweeting as much as I could today. There was supposed to be a tweet storm between 7 and 9 Eastern time. It has passed. I say keep it going, make it a hurricane, and tsunami.
Make it a nor'easter.
Make it a Twitter.
It's a twister, Auntie Emma twister.
Yeah, nor'easter. There you go. Make it a Twitter nor'easter.
Atari Pan Am. What?
What? Yeah. Atari Pan Am. Yes, those will be good sponsors in the Expanse. I think so.
Yeah. So I've reached the end of our chat here.
We can wrap things up. It's been an hour. Thank you everybody for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
It's been a lot of fun covering the show. We're going to continue to cover it. If you just watch us for the Expanse, we will be back next Wednesday, 8:15 p.m. Pacific time for a live recap. Please join us. We have so many cool people in our chat. We have the best chat in the internet, period. I will be back in a little over an hour to do Krypton. I'm going to cover Krypton.
And straight out of Krypton.
Straight out of Krypton. And we also do a live podcast on Friday nights at 8:00. This podcast will pretty much be about 2 things. It'll be about Deadpool 2 and Save the Expanse. Not necessarily in that order. So please join us 8 p.m. Pacific time on Friday, right here on the Nerdrotic channel. We also cover Westworld and Legion, and we do Farscape, and we do a lot of fun stuff. And I do a Monday morning. It's called the Nerdrotic Nooner, and it's a solo live stream. So join us for all that. Everything is scheduled. It's on nerdrotic.com. You can check us out there. We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/nerdrotic. Dennis has a Twitter. It's at DeForce, DAFORCE. Mine is at Nerdrotics. Please follow us and join us. Dennis runs a great Facebook group. It's the Nerdrotic Podcast Facebook group. And that's where pretty much most people in the chat here hang out and talk all day and post stuff. And it's really cool. Discord is coming. And so a lot of fun stuff. So I'll see. We can wrap it up there. We got a lot of people in the chat. Let's try to thank them as fast as we can. And sorry, folks, we like to thank the people in the chat. If you came in here and bothered to talk to us, we like to thank it.
Thank you, Small Yoda, Rob Stufflebeam. That's a great one. Alexander Sandu, Jody, Movie Finobi, How's Your Father, Pen Farm Girl, Viking Bitch, excuse me, Bad Bunny, Apple Crow, Deanna McCombs, Kenem One, Matt S, Morks. Is that Morks? Morks, yes.
Yeah.
Dakota Stanton, Logan McLeod, Mako. As I scroll up here a little bit more. Wow, we had quite a few people that were talking here. And I said Deanna McCombs, David Hill. There we go. And I know we had Feisty Fan earlier. She came in. Forrest Campbell and Caravaggio 2012. And anybody else that I didn't get to here, thank you all for coming in and chatting with us and listening to us break this thing down and talking about the show, and also for tweeting as well.
Yeah, thanks. Most important thing is save the Expanse.
Yeah.
Hashtag save the Expanse, hashtag the Expanse. If you want to throw in hashtag remember the can't for that's Doomcock, and that's kind of ours and Doomcock's hashtag. If you want to throw that in, we don't want to barrage with too much. So if you want to leave that one out, that's cool. But if you want to throw it in, that's cool too. I'd like to thank our patrons real quick, which is Dakota Stanton, Penn Farm Girl, Apple Crow, Christianette Echo 9, Shakuri Llama, Eric, Richard Seth Jones, Viking Bitch, Luke Lucas, Mech Heist, Ed Brewer, Logan McLeod, Feisty Fan, Lawrence Howe, Isaiah Norton, Fan on Rough, Tiger Maskin RH, John Nada, Rubicon Alpha, Johnny Pappas, Jody, Brian Smart, Steve D, and Arturo Espinoza. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you,
Patreon.
everybody.
Yeah. So, Dennis, take us out, man.
Children of Earth, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, because Brainiac is coming later on tonight. And save the Expanse.
Hashtag save the Expanse. Hashtag remember the can't. And remember, folks, progress, not perfection. Good night.